it's usually first. And your primer.
Courtney thinks she's funny because I'm using this light ring that I've used for my business videos in the past, and she's saying that, what did you say I start with?
Primer.
The primer. And then?
Moisturiser. I don't really know. I don't really know.
You don't wear makeup, how do you know? She's paying me out though, making a makeup tutorial video with this light thing, but it's getting dark, so thought you might want to see my face. Tom here, your resident.
Looks like this.
They can't see that.
Can't they?
No, there's too much reflection. Your resident lymphoma challenger. I just wanted to do a video to update everybody because a lot of people viewed my first video, and one of the first things I wanted to do was like thank the amount of people that have reached out to me and the amount of people that have donated and the amount of people that are putting together donations and fundraisers and things like that to help us out. I'd like never in my wildest dreams had thought that I would have got such a response from it, but I just wanted to thank everybody so much. Like, there's so many people I still haven't got back to, and it's getting a bit overwhelming, the amount of messages I'm getting, also the amount of people that have reached out to me that have also had a type of lymphoma, explaining to me that they went through the journey and I can do it, and just the amount of motivating people that have got in touch with me has just been like, it's just been outstanding and overwhelming. And all my family and friends, even people I haven't spoken to for a long time, that have genuinely reached out to me to make sure that we're okay. Like, it's just like nothing like I could have ever imagined. So I just wanted to do an update on what's going on with me, because we've spent all day today at the hospital. I had a bit of a whirlwind kind of up and down couple of weeks, because I went and got a whole heap of bloods done that we had to take to the specialist basically to kind of confirm what was going on. And basically I've had a bit of a useless GP, and you know, I got diagnosed with lymphoma, did CT scans, did blood tests, things like that. Then I did secondary blood tests which for leukemia markers and showing malignancy. None of that I really have a deep understanding of what that means, but anyway, I do and I don't, but this type of blood test I wasn't really sure. Came back saying that I had no abnormalities in my B cells or T cells, which, if you know anything about lymphoma, they're general markers for the starter of the cancer. They create these lymphocytes which go through your lymphatic system and then generate cancer, and it was showing that I had no signs of that in my blood. Then I had the GP undiagnose me from lymphoma, and there was a big sense of relief, obviously, but at the same time, I just kind of kept this feeling in the back of my head that maybe that they were wrong, and I couldn't really understand how a GP could just so willy-nilly diagnose one way or the other. So I sort of kept in the back of my head and waited for the specialist appointment. So that's where we were today. We went in, and basically one thing happened after another. I was in the hospital about 9:30 this morning for the initial consultation with the specialist. In that time I saw 2 different specialists and a specialist assistant. They checked me out. They said, look, looking pretty prominent to be some type of lymphoma. It's quite common in people my age, especially men, and they went through and ticked all the boxes, but they said, look, what we need to do is book you in for a biopsy straight away, check it all out, see what's going on, and really confirm maybe what type of lymphoma or subtype it is. But they didn't really diagnose me per se. They said, we're not sure. There's still a possibility it could be some type of viral infection, but highly unlikely with the symptoms and stuff I've had going on. And so they told us to wait in the waiting room. Long story short, a nurse comes out. She goes, look, I'm going to grab you guys, have a quick chat. Took me into another room and said, we're going to talk about how we're going to deal with the next few months. And basically gave us a pretty strong indication that they had clarified that I did have lymphoma, and the biopsies were really just to go check the subtype to figure out what type of treatment I will be on. So yeah, the morning was a bit intense after that. Courtney was really upset, which is shit. I hate seeing her upset. My mum was there, rock of support as usual. She's had cancer and been in remission for 12 years, so she's a really positive light at the end of the tunnel for this whole thing. And then all I can say is the hospital moved so fast today. Went from specialists to nurses to then going and have a consultation with a surgeon, and then more blood tests at the hospital that they need to carry on to the next week, then a consultation with another nurse, then a consultation with another anaesthetist, and then a consultation which involved cardiovascular and ECG, because I've had past issues with that before as a genetic thing. Just ticking all the boxes. Basically I'm booked in for surgery in 3 days to undergo an hour-long procedure to remove a lymph node to check what's going on in there, and then we're going to know more by sort of Thursday next week, which is in about 7 days from now. So I'm hoping we'll have some better answers. Couple of questions I've had. A lot of people have been messaging me and asking me in person, how did I know that I had lymphoma, like what were the symptoms? So I'll just run you through a bit of those. I've been feeling pretty shitty for a few weeks and like really tired, lethargic, and I've had a lot of nerve pain sort of running from my back, down my neck, and my arm and under here. Basically a week after Christmas I went fishing the whole day and I had my rod butt in my arm like this, and I was popping for lures all day in my kayak. And then when I laid down in bed at night I went like this, and then I felt here and I had this kind of large lump, and it's still quite prominent. You can even see it just here, this whole area under here. There's like a big lymph node in here, and then another one here, and they say it stretches down and affecting my spleen as well. So if you notice the difference between my armpits, it's quite a lot of swelling, and I've also got swelling in my chest and swelling up into here as well. So obviously I freaked out about the whole lump thing, and I went and got it checked out. Blood test said it was completely normal, which is not strange because they usually just check for infection. So it's a bad thing when they come back normal and your lump's still there, because that means that it's maybe something a little bit more sinister. There's still a slight chance it could be some type of idiopathic, meaning internal viral infection my body's not dealing with. But like once I said again, I spoke to the specialists and everything, and they're pretty confident of what the diagnosis is. And that's pretty much it. That's how I found out, and we just gotta kind of take it a day at a time. We've got another couple of fundraisers coming up this weekend, which some amazing people have organised for us. It's been super. I just can't believe the amount of people that have reached out and assisted with this. My jiu-jitsu gym is also doing, so both the gym that Courtney and I have trained at, which is Fit Stop Australia, Morningside, and then my jiu-jitsu gym, Advanced Martial Arts, and the GABA are doing they're doing a fundraiser for me on Saturday as well. I'm not sure if they're both at the same time. I'm just going to try and make my face known at both of those to show my appreciation, which I find really friggin' awkward because I'm very stubborn and I don't like people helping me. I like to do everything myself, but I guess this time I have to accept it. So how I have been dealing with it emotionally, I think, is a really important aspect of it, because I feel like I've been dealing with it better than Courtney has, to be honest. Which is probably normal because, you know, she's seen her brother go through chemotherapy and cancer at a young age, so she's going to have to see me go through it and how terrible that's going to be. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, so yeah, what I've got to do for the next week or so is, like I said, I've got to have the surgery Monday, and that's all moving pretty quick. It's like 3 days away, and then I have to also go and donate sperm, which I've never, not donate, we'll go freeze. Go freeze sperm, which I've never done before.
Sperm up for grabs.
Like, I've made plenty of sperm deposits, but none of them have ever been kept and frozen. So that'll be a new and interesting experience. So yeah, I've got to do that because obviously there's a chance of infertility with the whole chemotherapy risks and all that sort of stuff.
I just love being pregnant.
Courtney just loves being pregnant. Show us your belly. Can you show us your belly? Oh, and other good news, we had an amazing person reach out to us, like, we're 18 weeks this week?
Yeah, I thought it was 16, but it's 18.
So we had an amazing person reach out to us that Courtney knows and basically offered us the opportunity to get a 4D scan after hours. I won't say who it was or where it was in case it gets them in trouble, but offered that for free. Basically, it's such a nice thing for them to do. So we were able to find out that we're having a little boy, which is really exciting. And Courtney wasn't so stoked because she wanted a girl. She thought she was 100% certain it was a girl. It's not, it's a boy. But other than that, I want to keep documenting this because regardless of what happens, like with me in the future, this is something my family is going to be able to look at. I'm very positive and it's very curable, so it's not like this is a negative thing or I won't make it, but you know, just in case, it's all documented down. And on top of that, when I did my research for, I hate the word cancer, for my challenge, when I did the research for the challenge that I'm about to partake in, there was a really lot of interesting channels of people I've seen that have gone through similar journeys, and a lot of them are sort of uplifting and positive. But I want to set a tone for this to be a positive thing. So if somebody has to go through the same thing, they will know how to carry themselves, the best attitude to take. And I'm fucking terrified, to be honest. Like, I can't say that I'm not. Everybody says stay positive and best of luck. Like, that's the last time they're ever going to see you when you talk to certain doctors and nurses, and best of luck and stay positive. Like, obviously I'm going to stay positive because I want to stay alive. This is highly curable, you know, and I have a lot to look forward to, and I'm going to make sure I do everything to prepare my body before and after treatment to make sure that I heal properly, I can deal with it properly, and if there's complications in between, then, you know, so be it. Then we've just got to take it as it comes. But one of the first things I did when I had the diagnosis, I called a really good friend of mine who's a meditation expert. I got him here. We went through some exercises, we wrote down some programs. I'm setting a precedent of how I wake up every day and what I do to deal with my emotions, to get through the day and be positive and move forward every step that I can. One of the first things I did is seek out one of the best clinical naturopaths I could find, who used to lecture at my sister's university, and I've immediately started a supplement program to help reducing inflammation and alkalizing the body better than how I was doing it before, to make sure I'm really prepped for what's about to happen. And I see it as another challenge. I've unfortunately had relatives and friends that I've seen go through this stuff that gave up the day before they started with the wrong attitude, and I know I have no idea what's to come yet as far as treatment and how I'm going to feel, but I just want to set the tone for this to be as entertaining and positive as possible, to show people how you should carry yourself in this situation, and I'll do the best I can. And I once again can't thank people enough for what they've contributed to our situation so far, which is just going to take so much stress off the whole thing. People have reached out to help with my business, people have reached out to help with baby clothes and things. Oh, we set up our nursery last week as well.
Question. Ollie?
We've had an amazing family member buy us this week, our new baby cot, and we also found out sex.
It's a boy!
It's a boy.
And he's got about 10 names.
He's got about 10 names.
No, he's got 3. full path.
Thought we had a name until we found out that it was a boy, and then we thought maybe we don't like that name.
I thought it was a girl.
Between two of us, me being slightly crippled and her being slightly also crippled, this is teamwork at 9 o'clock at night to get this together. We thought that maybe if we set up the nursery it might give us something nice to concentrate on this week. That's what a normal one's supposed to look like. That's what the other one looks like.
And I knew I was pregnant because I started growing this lump out here. What a normal one looks like.
That's not how she found out she was pregnant. How she actually found out she was pregnant, she abused the neighbour's dog at 2 o'clock in the morning for barking for 3 seconds.
Thank you. And we change the table, go over there.
We did it. Here it is. The baby's set up. And how awkward is this? Last one, babe. Now we know it's a boy and all that stuff, so thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you guys soon in the next week or so after I've had all the biopsies and figure out what the hell's going on there. So if I haven't got back to you on a message or whatever, and I'm really sorry, but there's been an overwhelming amount of those. I think I've got back to nearly everybody I possibly can, but this is an easy way for me to relay what's going on and the information. So thank you so much, and I'll update you soon. And I'd like to thank my mum too, because she's been an absolute champion. Thanks, Mum. You've been through it. You set the benchmark of what it takes to survive 12 years strong. Love you, and thanks for watching.